What is going on? What's up, everybody? We've got a great show planned for you. Oh, the MMA Unk, I love you too. What's up? Oh, Meme Big 9 is here. Is this going members only after it's finished? You know, it depends. It depends on whether or not I think that Donlo can turn this into a good video. If I think that Donlo can turn this into a really good video, then it will go. It'll probably not even members only. It's gonna get privated. But if not, I might leave it up for a little bit. This is the same show as we were yesterday, but in fairness, I didn't really do anything yesterday. I kind of was just at home all day, so I didn't actually do anything. Are you a father? I am. How did you know that? I am. I have 2 kids. Love them dearly. They're my whole world. Funny that you asked, but yeah, I've got 2 little ones. One's sitting on my lap right now. This is one of them, by the way. That's Pepper. No, I'm not a cat lady because I have 2 cats. Yeah, listen, guys, great stream plan today. Let's see. I built a whole PowerPoint, and I actually this time I was able to fix the problem we had last time with the little crop. So this is gonna be good. Dude, this was a beefy PowerPoint to say the least. You know what? I'm just gonna put myself right here for now, and I'll move it before we start, just in case, so nobody fucking get any spoilers or anything like that. I made an individual PowerPoint for every single top contender. I missed last stream. Is it worth the rewatching? No. That Jim Miller really led us astray yesterday. He really led us astray. He sent the video suggestion in the Discord and told us to watch it, and I watched it. We watched it on stream, and it was awful. Like, it wasn't even really worth it. It wasn't worth it. Yeah, I've been enjoying making PowerPoints. It's been fun. But yeah, this is I think there's like 80 slides. So, bro, we got a lot to say about, again, every single top contender. See, am I even in the fucking camera frame? Yeah. I gotta be right here. Okay. I was curious. Did anybody watch the dunk contest last night? I'm curious. Did anybody watch the dunk contest? Because I watched it. I'm curious if any of you guys saw it. Because, you know, well, I'll let you guys answer first and foremost. It was assy? I don't know, man. That's what I was curious. I was curious what you guys thought, because I've been seeing the reaction to it on social media. And people are pissed. People are really pissed. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but, like, my expectations were so low for it that, like, I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't amazing. But, like, I'm seeing everybody on Instagram being like, oh, Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine. I'm like, yeah. But, like, you guys understand that was, like, a once-in-a-generation kind of dunk contest, right? And people are like, oh, man, we got spoiled from the 90s and early 2000s dunk contest. It's like, dude, motherfucker, they got rid of the dunk contest in 1997, the year that Kobe won, because it was so bad. They got rid of it. So, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't think it was amazing, but I was surprised that everybody was, I mean, I don't know. It could have been worse. That is true, though. The guy that hit the backboard, yeah, that was bad. I thought he smacked his head on the fucking ground, the back of his head on the ground. Cold Killer Gaming, man. At this point, bro, I'm not even unless your message is coming with $2.79 minimum. I'm not even gonna respond, bro. You've built up too much of an expectation. Yeah, I'm just gonna let just a few more minutes, let people pile on in here before we get started. Did I see Clavicular get frame mogged? How could I not? I swear to God, everything I know about that Clavicular guy, everything I know about him has been against my will. Like, I've seen a lot about the guy, and I've never looked up anything about him. But man, the algorithm sure likes him these days. Oh, thanks for asking. We are all GC. It was all right. I didn't do anything. I just watched the fucking All-Star Weekend shit. Not algorithm, just incels. Yeah, but like, dude, you know what? I'll get him like on my YouTube Shorts, and I swear to God, man, like, dude has no game. He does not have any game. Like, the shit he says to girls is just so like. I'm like, man, if you had any charisma, you'd be a real problem out there. But he doesn't, he just doesn't have it. But which I guess that makes sense why he has to looks max in that case. Grown ass man watching YouTube Shorts. Sorry. Damn, you can't do any. I swear to God, as soon as you become an adult, you're not allowed to do fucking anything these days. Jesus Christ. All right, Lift Logic Labs. I'll be looking forward to it. No, I'm not on Hinge. I'm not really on anything. I'm not even really like. I'm not really on anything. Shit bong with my Conor McGregor impression. You guys can't lie. My Conor McGregor impression isn't that. It's actually all right. Like, it's not good. Like, I wouldn't, I don't think I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but it's not bad. You guys can't deny it's not bad. Oh, man. Ugh, all right. I guess that's enough waiting around. Are you guys ready to get started? Because I'm ready to get started. Again, I put a tremendous amount of work into this. I really fucking gave this one my all. Your Song Yadong is better. That is true. That is true. That is true. Oh, Colt Killer Gaming. Thank you for the $2.79. Who's your NBA team? Man, my NBA team, it's funny because, like, I feel like there's a fair amount of basketball fans. Like, listen, I don't want to start any beef or anything. But, like, I'll listen to, like, fucking, I don't even know where I heard this. I must have, like, randomly clicked on a stream at one point. But I remember listening to, like, Bedtime talk about him being a NBA fan. And, like, the way he talks about, like, the team that he likes, he's very wishy-washy, which I think is a lot of fans. I think a lot of fans are like that. They're very wishy-washy. They become fans of certain players, you know what I mean? Or they're like, oh, I like this guy, so I'm going to support this team this year. And I'll tell you what, I don't respect that. I don't respect that. I am a diehard Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan ever since I was a really, really small child. I do like I'm such a Laker fan that like when there are two other teams in the finals, I just am not gonna watch because why do I give a fuck? You know, why do I care? Like last year, fucking Oklahoma versus the fucking the fucking whatchamacallit, the fucking Indiana Pacers. I don't care. I'm not watching it. My team's not there, then what do I have to watch? So there you go, Colt Kill Gaming. There's your answer. I was a Laker fan back during the dark ages, back when we had fucking Robert Sacre as our starting center. Like 2015. I was there, man. I mean, listen, I love the sport, don't get me wrong, but if my team's not there, then like what? I refuse to support anybody else. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I would say. All right. Anyway, I put together this whole PowerPoint. I'm really proud of it. The biggest problem with every single top contender in the UFC, starting off, Alexandre Pantoja. It hurts me to say that he even is a top contender. It hurts me to even say that, but truth is he is. So what do I think the biggest problem with Pantoja is? You know what's great about doing this is that I kind of forget what I said. Like if I sat here and thought about it for a second, I'd probably remember, but for probably almost all of these, I've already forgotten what I typed in, so we're going to figure it out together, what I typed in initially. To me, the biggest problem with Alexandre Pantoja, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, man, listen, he's not old and full of mold yet. He's not, but he might. I mean, we're getting there, bro. We're getting there. He's 35 years old. That is very old for the flyweight division. The one thing that gives me hope is that it seems like in today's day and age, it seems like, I guess because of, you know, science, nutrition, training methods these days, it does seem like guys can extend their primes longer. You know, you got fucking Volkanovski still killing it at the ripe age of 37. You know what I mean? Listen, I don't know. But he is getting up there in age, which scares me. Very heavy power punchers are absolutely going to be his biggest problem because he can be kind of reckless. And again, I don't know if there's many guys in the flyweight division currently who I would say are truly like huge power punchers like a Davison Figueiredo. It's a Davison Figueiredo who I think really is going to be a problem for Pantoja. And I would say overall, I would say they're pretty clear. These are some of his biggest problems that he's absolutely going to have. Next, Manuel Kape. To me, I would say there's only one like real clear problem with Manuel Kape in my mind. The one like glaring issue that is standing over Manuel right now, the one thing that I think can tear his entire fucking career to the ground. You know, Horiguchi, maybe I should have said that. Maybe I could have said that. I didn't even really think about it when I was writing this. Because, but Jim, I will say, his takedown defense isn't amazing. I mean, listen, he's a flyweight. He's a UFC flyweight. He's very skilled. His takedown defense isn't terrible, but give him a really high-level wrestler. Give him a Mokaev. That's going to be a problem for him, for sure. But that, to me, is not his biggest problem. And you read the title of the stream, it says the biggest problem. And I think the biggest problem that Manuel Kape is going to have these days is fucking USADA. Because, I mean, this is just fucking abhorrent, bro. This is abhorrent. Listen, I'm a little afraid to say this because of how everybody freaked out yesterday, but I asked ChatGPT, I was like, listen, what are the odds a world-class athlete develops gynecomastia? And then they're not using any performance-enhancing drugs. And ChatGPT was like, well, gynecomastia comes from a surplus of estrogen in your body. And why a world-class athlete would have a surplus of estrogen doesn't really make any sense. Obviously, it's going to come from the fact that when you're injecting endogenous hormones into your body, like Sir Isaac Newton always says, every action has an equal or opposite reaction. Therefore, it's going to increase estrogen. John Jones tested positive in the past for estrogen blockers for this exact reason. Truthfully, he's got some other problems, don't get me wrong, but the biggest one, I think it's this. I think it's this breast tissue right here. All right, next. Tatsuro Taira. As you guys know, I like Tatsuro Taira. I'm a really big fan of Tatsuro Taira, but I think that the biggest issue that Tatsuro Taira is going to have in this day and age, I don't even know if I really have to explain it to you guys, but I'm gonna anyway. But I think the biggest issue Tatsuro Taira is going to have is that right there, motherfuckers. That right there. I think that is absolutely his biggest problem. And if you want me to elaborate, I will. Oh, fuck, that's right. The UFC doesn't use USADA anymore. I completely forgot about that. Well, whatever drug testing performance, whatever drug testing organization they have now. The Fair Fight. What do they even call themselves now? What, a drug test. I mean, it's not Jack Slack, no, but I just typed in on Google Alexandre Pantoja body triangle, and this was the photo that I saw. Drug-free sport, yeah. Dude, Alexandre Pantoja has better cardio. He's more girthy. Better back take game. I added a question mark because I actually think it's somewhat interesting. I think that obviously they're a little different. I think Tatsuro Taira can get to your back with a little bit more finesse. I think that Pantoja can get to your back with more marauderness qualities. But regardless, to me, when I look at someone with the style of Tatsuro Taira, the biggest problem is, for him at least, currently in the division, is that, you got a guy in Pantoja who kind of outdoes him in pretty much every single aspect that you're gonna need, Again, if Pantoja really did completely tear, every ligament in his elbow, maybe it wouldn't be as big of a problem, but he's back and ready to go. You know what I mean? So even if they end up doing Taira versus Van next, he's still around, and unfortunately, you know what I mean? Just look at when he fought Brandon Royval, and just for all 5 rounds, just fucking put it on him, whereas Taira was dead tired fucking 10 minutes into the fight. He outdoes him, man. He just does. There's no question about it. All right, next. Merab Dvalishvili's. Yeah, I genuinely don't remember exactly what I said his issue was, so we're practically learning this together. Let's see, what did I say it was? His grappling isn't good enough, which, that's a little funny to say. But the truth is, man, for how much of a problem his grappling is, it isn't good enough anymore. It's just not. And that's not to say it's not good enough against, a Sean O'Malley-esque person. But unfortunately, Petr Yan is champion. And unfortunately, Merab's grappling game just ain't going to cut it against a Petr Yan. Frankly, it didn't even really cut it against a Corey Sandhagen either, He's relentless. He's going to shoot on you a million times, but is he going to take your back? Is he going to hold you down? Is he going to, gather 4 minutes of control time against you? Is he going to submit you? Well, if you're Sean O'Malley, maybe. But to me, that's his biggest problem. Obviously, his striking's improved a lot. He almost knocked the fuck out Corey Sandhagen. I mean, he did. But it's just, unfortunately, man, I think if he had more threat actually on the ground, I would say his future is still bright. But unfortunately, as crazy as it is to say, it's not good enough these days, man. You take Petr Yan down, he's just going to turtle, stand back up, fight your hands over and over and over again. Even Corey Sandhagen is going to turtle, fight your hands, and stand up, and now all of a sudden you're not actually scoring with your grappling at all. That's just what it is, man. Next. Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm curious, what do you guys think I said? What do you guys think his biggest problem is? Rob should have pulled guard against Yan. Yeah, maybe that would have done it. Cardio. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You know what? People were saying this yesterday, that cardio was his big problem, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure if it is. I don't know. I don't think so. Obviously, we know how the Merab fight went, but is that because he has bad cardio, or is that because Merab is stronger than him and he was trying to like really wrestle hard with him? I think that was his biggest problem. Merab was stronger, and Umar was treating that fight like a freestyle wrestling match. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't remember exactly my exact wording, but I think some of you guys are getting it right. I think boxing defense and Merab are going to be his biggest problems. Listen, again, going into the first Corey Sandhagen fight, I remember I had a very bold claim. Going into that fight. Everybody thought that Corey was going to get destroyed, and I remember I made a whole video saying everybody's wrong. I promise you, Umar is not going to be able to control Corey on the ground. He's not going to be able to, I promise. Everybody thinks the Dagestani grappling is going to be too much. I promise you, he's going to be able to contend with him in the grappling. I promise. And then I said also, Umar, the weakest aspect of his game is his boxing. I think that if Corey can really close the distance, get into his face, I think the boxing advantage for Corey is going to be there. Now, I remember mentioning that Khabib said in an interview that they really need to work on improving Umar's boxing because that's the weakest aspect of his game. And I was like, listen, if Umar can do that, he has a good chance because obviously Corey doesn't have a lot of power. But listen, I don't know, man. I don't know if he can make that huge of an improvement to his boxing. But that's kind of what I thought. And then he ended up making that improvement to the boxing. I was right about the grappling, and then everybody told me I made a horrible video, which did hurt my feelings. Because, I thought I actually did a pretty good job. But anyway, his boxing's improved. But boxing defense, again, the problem is for me, and I've said this before, but the problem is for me is that when you back up Umar to the fence, he doesn't have a very good guard. He does not. He doesn't shell up well. He's not rolling and moving. He's not answering the phone well. He likes to use a lot of movement and head movement. He keeps his hands out like this, and he likes to use a lot of footwork, and he bounces away from you, and he tries to always slide away from your strikes. The problem is, though, if you're able to kind of pressure him towards the fence, all of a sudden, this isn't great because he doesn't have any movement to move away. So that's why you've got a Mario Batista, faking the right hand to a high kick, catching him clean because he was looking to slip. Or a Bezcat Almakon just ripping an overhand and catching him as he was moving away. Or even Merab cracking him. At range, I think that Umar's striking defense is good because he moves very well. I think that, the problem is for me primarily is that, someone like Petr Yan is going to pressure Umar really well. And man, if someone like Petr Yan gets Umar up against the fence, that's tough, bro. That's tough. Now, actually, I think the grappling, though, will be interesting to see between an Umar and a Petr Yan. But, man, I think Petr's going to put together like a 3-4 punch boxing combination. And, fuck, that's going to be gnarly. And in terms of Merab, well, I mean, again, Merab, I think the biggest problem for Umar going up against Merab is that Umar is a way better grappler. Way better grappler than Merab is. Way better grappler. But unfortunately, Merab is the way better freestyle wrestler. Therefore, Umar actually using his grappling well against him is unfortunately kind of a problem. As much as it does pain me to say. And two, right, like, and listen, I don't know, man. Umar has made improvements in the past. If he just tries to adopt exactly what Corey Sandhagen and exactly what Petr Yan did to stop Merab's grappling, I think he has actually a very good chance. The biggest problem in my mind for him versus Merab was, again, Umar was treating that fight like he didn't want Merab to score any points against him. You know, he'd shoot, and then Umar would start scrambling and fighting as hard as he can. And you know, anytime Merab started circling to the back, you know, from a standing position, he'd scramble and turn his back into him. And it's like, dude, yes, in a wrestling match, obviously you have to do that. But in an MMA fight, just give him your back and fight the hands. There's no risk. Obviously, if you're fighting an Aljamain Sterling, you can't give up your back standing. But against Merab, that's what you have to do. So anyway, I don't know. I as of now, based on his skill set, I think Merab's a real problem. But maybe he can make some changes. Let me see. What do we got here? Oh, way too smoky. Then you're the $5, bro. You skipped Horiguchi. He's up there, especially with how badly he beat Kape. Also, can you react to Kape versus Horiguchi? You know what? I actually maybe can do that because that's not a UFC fight. So maybe I can do that, actually. Definitely not for $5, though. It's going to be more than $5. Let me just pull up the UFC rankings real quick because I don't believe Horiguchi's in the top 5. Oh, fuck. He is in the top 5. Sorry. Yeah, I missed him. I did just kind of make this, you know, all off the... I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed him. My bad. Colt Killer, thank you for the $2.10. Can you add Mario and Horiguchi? First of all, Colt Killer Gaming, I can't add. I've already made the damn PowerPoint. I'm not going to sit here and make the PowerPoint in front of you guys. That kind of kills the reveal aspect of it. Second of all, I'm not even done with the bantamweight division yet. I'm not even done. I might have Mario on here. I might even have him on here. But, you know, but for future reference, if I do happen to miss somebody that you want me to talk about, you can just send $2 and I'll tell you everything you need to know about him. All right. Next, Sean O'Malley. Yeah, I feel like I've discussed Sean O'Malley's weaknesses so often now that I bet you guys all already know. Let's hear it. What is it, guys? What is it? Let's hear it. And I'm looking for exact wordage on this one. Yeah. Good work. A lack of girth. Again, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. If you're gonna be a 5'11", super tall, lengthy, quick, snappy guy, you're gonna be giving up some strength. That's just a problem. You know, when you're fighting a 5'6" Merab, who's your exact same weight, he's gonna be way more fucking jacked than you are. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. You're not strong enough. To, you know, it was very clear in that very first Merab fight that Sean was just out-muscled. He just was. There were so many sequences where he was just getting bulldozed, and he spent the entire build-up to the Merab rematch talking about how I've been doing bicep curls, I've been doing some fucking Kegels, I've been fucking... You know what I mean? I'm doing squats. I'm doing deadlifts. I need to try to close the gap in the strength. And I've done that. He said he promised us that he did that. And then in round 1, Merab's in on a takedown against the fence. Sean is sprawled out perfectly. Sean has an overhook and an underhook. He's doing everything right. And then Merab fucking picks him up and puts him down. And it's like, all right, well, game over. The one advantage that you needed is gone. He's not strong enough. He lacks girth, and I'm afraid even a current Petr Yan is going to beat him because he's more girthy. All right, next. Movsar. Oh, okay, so now we're up to the 145-pound division. So sorry, Colt Killer. It looks like I did forget Mario. My bad. Movsar Evloev. The biggest problem with Movsar Evloev. What do you guys think? You stop gooning, bro. People forget, man. This weakness is 12-year-olds. No power, no finishing potential. Jim Miller got it right. I mean, dude, do you need me to explain anything more than this photo? Do you need me to explain anything more? Like, come on, look at what's happening here. That's it. We're done, right? We're done, right? What else do you need me to say? What else do you need me to say? Movsar, listen, he's not a one-to-one copy of Islam at all. Like, I wouldn't say they're a complete one-to-one copy, but there are a lot of similarities in their style. In fact, I would say Movsar, you know what, I'll tell you what, he does have a better shot than Islam does. He has a better shot. Movsar's takedowns are definitely better. Movsar, I forget his exact background, but I would imagine Movsar comes from a much more traditional wrestling background than Islam does, but Islam's finishing ability is way better. I think his fence wrestling is way better. I think his trips and throws are way better. Greco-Roman, okay, fair enough. But, dude, listen, Movsar's style of attack is kind of what, like, Islam would try to do to Volkanovski in the first fight, and look what fucking happened at the end. You know what I mean? Look what happened at the end of that fight. And you think Movsar, like, style for style, I'm sorry, Volkanovski's too tough of a matchup for you. Way too smoky. Thank you for the $2. Bro put Predvar before Gooch and Mario. I mean, he is ranked, I believe, number 1 or number 2, so I kind of have to. But anyway, next. Diego Lopes. Islam's Meldonium is a lot better, for sure. To me, the biggest problem with the Diego Lopes, just frankly a lack of striking skill. I hate to say it, just all around a lack of striking skill. He's not technical on the feet at all. Like, at all. Like, again, watching that second Diego Volkanovski fight, it's like, bro, you know, I remember, like, by round 4, I was, like, fucking starting to, like, yell at the screen. I'm like, Diego, you cannot win a fight by walking at him menacingly. That ain't gonna cut it, dude. Like, how about some feints? How about some setups? How about we start with some punches and we end with a fucking leg kick? Or, you know what I mean? Like, how about we try to add any sort of finesse in our skill set here? But Diego Lopes, again, his boxing mechanics, terrible. His defense, terrible. He has a tremendous amount of power. He's very big for the weight class, for sure. It is kind of crazy how much of a knockout artist he is for how not technical he is. Again, I think there are aspects of his game that make up for it. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is with Diego Lopes. I think because he's so big and powerful, he's just never developed really high-level striking. I'd love to see some more finesse out of him. I'd love to see him try to set up combinations better. I'd love to see better footwork. Footwork's another one. Footwork is awful. His footwork is terrible. And, you know, we saw that. He practically got shut out against Volkanovski 5-0. You know? It's bad. It's not good. Next, Lerone Murphy. What do you guys think Lerone Murphy's biggest problem is? What do you guys think Lerone Murphy's biggest problem is? Boring. I didn't say boring. Guns. Murphy's a sprawl and brawl guy. He's a Brit, no finishing. He fumbled the fuck out of that title fight. Lack of output, boring. He isn't special. Brit suck, too passive, point fighting, chinny, grappling, being black, urgency, Lerone Murphy, Melenin, plotty, guns. Okay, all right. A lot of good guesses, but to me, the biggest problem with Lerone Murphy is this. I think that's the biggest problem with Lerone Murphy. When I look at a Lerone Murphy, it's like, bro, you are too fucking old. How can you be a 35-year-old contender in the 145-pound division? That is lunacy, bro. I'm sorry. What? Dude, no. You're way too fucking old for this division. Like the fact that you're not even there is not any talk of Lerone Murphy fighting for the belt right now. He's gonna have to even have at least one more top contender fight. He's gonna be 36 years old before he even has a shot at even getting to the belt, I thought he was 38. Is he? Let me see. I thought he was 35. Lerone Murphy age. Now he's 35. He's 35. Okay, yeah, Volk is 40, but Volk is also fucking 7 years into his title reign? Volk is 7 years into his title reign, all right? That's a big difference. That is a big difference. He's old and he's full of mold. That's, to me, the biggest problem. Dark Nebula, thank you for 14 Czar. Thoughts on Wing Chun and Krav Maga in the streets? I think from a purely principle perspective, I think Krav Maga is fine in the streets. The biggest problem with it though is you can't practice Krav Maga. Krav Maga is all about groin strikes and headbutts and eye pokes and stabbing people with your keys. You know what I mean? It's you can't practice that. I mean, you just you can't really do that. You can kind of drill it, I guess. But, to train, an actual, fighting discipline, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you can go as hard as you can and actually practice and, kind of get a feel for that intensity. So if you're fighting someone who has no idea what they're doing, perhaps Krav Maga could be useful, maybe. But, if you've been doing Krav Maga for 10 years and you're fighting, a legit, mixed martial artist who's, used to intensity, and he just fucking right hand right to the face and then it has you in the air on a double leg on concrete, it's yeah, you shouldn't have been doing Krav Maga. You should have been, actually, practicing a sport with intensity. You know what I mean? All right, next. Aaron, thank you for the $2. When was Volk at his peak? I mean, dude, I don't know. It's tough to say because it's tough to say. I mean, I think someone's gonna. I think people are gonna kind of point to the third Max Holloway fight, or they're gonna point to the Yair fight. But you have to look at those fights stylistically. He's a hard counter to Max Holloway because Max Holloway's entire game is volume and speed. Well, Volkanovski. And also cardio, right? Volkanovski has the cardio to keep up with him. He's faster. He's a little bit more, fast twitch. He's just a complete hard counter. He's a better grappler, at least, offensively. I would say overall Volk's a better grappler. It's just such a hard counter. Yair Rodriguez, again, we're going to get to the problems with Yair Rodriguez later, but we saw what Volk just fucking bulldozed him. You know what I mean? I don't know. When I watched Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes in this last fight, I didn't see anything that led me to believe that Volkanovski was not as good as he ever had been before. There was never a moment I was watching that fight and I was like, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, see, yeah, there you can tell he's not the same. I didn't really see it. Oh, fuck, speaking of, okay, there you go. Yair Rodriguez, as we were just fucking talking about. Yeah, that's his biggest problem. He's got a Sean O'Malley issue. He just does. He has the exact same problem that Sean O'Malley does. Yair Rodriguez is a tall, lengthy speed merchant. He has his speed stat fully maxed out, and if you're gonna have your speed stat fully maxed out, you're gonna be sacrificing some strength. You just are. Just look at the body type of him and then look at Volkanovski. If you're gonna be fighting a guy 5 inches shorter than you, but your exact same weight, they're going to be way more jacked than you. And Volkanovski when he got him to the clinch and picked him up and dumped him, even you got Brian Ortega, just grapple fucking you, being stronger. I'm sorry. He's got the same problem Sean O'Malley does. He just does. Ciry's grappling worse than Sean's too. You know what? I think Sean's a better grappler than Yair. I think Sean is a better grappler than Yair. Yair is more dangerous off of his back. Yair actually has some like really good armbar triangles off of his back. Sean O'Malley can wrestle a lot better than Yair can. Like legitimately. Sean O'Malley's a better wrestler, for sure. Oh, and also he's MIA. I don't know where the fuck he is. Where is he? He is missing in action as we stand right now. I don't know where the guy is. All right, next. Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje. I don't remember what I said for Justin Gaethje. I don't remember what I said. Can you guys help remind me? IQ. I didn't say IQ. Chromosome deficit. Didn't say that. Somalia slugger, old and full of mold. He's old. I forget. What did I say about Justin Gaethje? Old. I think I said old. I don't know what I said. What did I say? Okay, that makes sense. Striking defense, Ilia Topuria, and any high-level grappler. Now, listen, I'm sure somebody is going to sit here and say, oh, but isn't Paddy Pimblett a high-level grappler? In order to be a high-level grappler, you have to have high-level wrestling mixed in there as well. You have to, right? To be a high-level grappler, like grappling is a blanket term, right? And to be a high-level grappler means, you know, you have to essentially encompass almost all aspects of grappling into your game. Also, I don't think Paddy even really tried to use that high-level grappling in the fight, really. But I also think, too, I do want to be fair to Justin Gaethje. There used to be a time where Justin Gaethje didn't know how to grapple in MMA. Like, listen, if we were talking old school Justin Gaethje, like if Paddy Pimblett fought old school Justin Gaethje and he had that grappling performance against him, then I would just straight up say Paddy Pimblett is a bad grappler. But the truth is, man, I think Justin Gaethje actually has improved his grappling a lot. I remember I was watching a little sequence of, it was a video with Justin and Corey Sandhagen, and Justin was breaking down the front headlock position that he kept getting Paddy into. And he was just talking about it. He goes, so when I distribute my weight here, he gets stuck here. His then reaction is going to be to try to pull out, but that's when I drop the elbow here, and now all of a sudden he gets stuck. That opens up this shot, that opens up this shot. If you want, you can shoot the darce. Like, this is Gaethje saying that. And I was like, fuck. Wow. Justin Gaethje's just improved a lot. Like, I don't think Justin Gaethje's nearly as bad of a grappler as he used to be. Again, there used to be a time, like you're going back to the Khabib fight, he literally didn't know any sort of MMA grappling outside of collegiate wrestling. He didn't know. But I think that fight was years ago, and he's worked a lot at that. So I think he can contend with very good grappling. Paddy Pimblett's a very, very good grappler. He is. So I think he's gotten to the point now that he can contend with those high-level guys. But, dude, you give him like a Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is still going to be pulling guard against him. Charles Oliveira, if Justin gives up his back, he's fucked. And Islam Makhachev, he's fucked. Still, like these guys have a lifetime of world-class grappling ability, and I think Justin Gaethje's improved a lot, but I don't think he's to that level at all. Striking defense, you know what I mean? Like, come on, the striking defense is dog shit. Paddy Pimblett was fucking catching him very easily throughout that fight. Now, Justin, I think, claims that none of those shots hurt, which I don't doubt that, but still, his striking defense is terrible. I think, with that being said, Ilia Topuria is a fucking problem, right? That's a problem. Ilia Topuria is a serious, serious problem. Next, Arman Tsarukyan. What did I say about Arman Tsarukyan? I really don't remember. What did I say, Arman? Oh, okay, I remember. Dana. I didn't say Dana, but I should have said Dana. Fuck, I dropped the ball on that one. I should have said Dana. I completely dropped the ball on that one. That's my bad. I should have said Dana. Oh, Diet? Fuck, I should have said that too. I dropped the ball, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm lame. It should have been a picture of him fucking just eating some fucking disgusting mukbang style fucking dinner, and that should have just been a photo of Dana White, but I didn't. It's just this. It's just this. I'm sorry, I dropped the ball. But this is a problem. Now listen, in fairness, I should go back and rewatch the Dan Hooker fight because I'm not 110% sure, but I recall when I did watch it last, I thought he actually was managing distance a lot better than he had in the past. I actually thought that he was setting up his strikes a lot better than I've seen him do before. I think that he was not nearly as reckless as he had been prior. But obviously this fight, after this happened, he immediately started zombie wrestling. Takes him down, rides out the rest of the round, and then fucking round 3 starts, and Arman just fucking goes after him so recklessly. Just starts fucking rushing at him with shitty boxing. And I'm like, oi. And again, he obviously, he was such a better grappler than Joaquin Silva that it was okay. But that was scary. Like, you don't fucking do that. You don't fucking do that. That, to me, in terms of, like, right now, looking at the division, this is the biggest problem that he's going to have. I think, at least. On top of Dana White as well. On top of Dana White and his diet as well. But yeah, I need to rewatch the Dan Hooker fight to be certain about it. Charles Oliveira. The biggest problems with Charles Oliveira. That is fair. He only missed weight once. That is fair. That is fair. The biggest problem with Charles Oliveira, I mean, there are things. There are things. I don't think his chin's the problem. I'd say his defense is a much bigger problem than his chin. It's a way bigger problem. Boxing? Definitely not boxing. His boxing's okay. Brother style? That is funny. That's funny. I wouldn't say brother style, though, per se. I wouldn't say that. Fence wrestlers? Yeah, I wouldn't say that either. What are the biggest problems for Charles Oliveira right now? It is Arman Tsarukyan and striking defense. Guys, I see Arman Tsarukyan in my nightmares. I do. I'm sorry. I see him in my goddamn nightmares. Arman Tsarukyan is so terrifying. Obviously, Arman Tsarukyan, I mean, he is the best wrestler in the entire division. He's the best wrestler. Not following the game plan could have been here easily. Yeah. Not following the game plan should have been here easily. I'll tell you what. Listen, as you guys know, right? As you guys all know, I was I was connected with people that Charles hires to game plan for him, and I gave them my thoughts on an Ilia Topuria fight, on like what Charles needs to do against Ilia Topuria. I gave them my thoughts. And obviously the fight happened. He didn't really follow it that well, and I was kind of like, fuck, did they not even fucking use what I told them? Well, I saw a clip of his corner right as he got knocked out by Ilia. And his corner, fucking right as it happened, one of them slapped the ground and went, he was supposed to maintain distance. And that did make me feel a little bit better. Because it's like, yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been all right. But Arman Tsarukyan, right? Obviously, listen, Charles Oliveira did beat Arman Tsarukyan. It was a very razor close fight. But if you just look at the round, it's pretty clear. Charles 1,000% won round 1. Arman 1,000% won round 2. Round 3 was really close, but there was not a single moment in round 3 nearly as significant as the Darce attempt. Arman accomplished very little effective striking or effective grappling per the judging criteria. Very little. Did no damage on the ground round 3. He was overall outstriking Charles, but nothing significant landed. Charles did have one really nice kick to the body round 3. The Darce attempt is absolutely the biggest aspect of that fight. However, since then, Arman Tsarukyan, again, he's fairly young. I think he just turned 28, 29. He's been doing a ton of, like, jiu-jitsu tournaments and, like, grappling matches, and his submissions are starting to look really, really good. He fucking... that fucking jiu-jitsu match he had with Hamzat was fucking insane. The fact he was able to survive was crazy. Him, like, picking up Shara Bullet and walking around with him. To me, the scariest thing about Arman is that Charles, again, he pressure is a huge aspect of Charles's game. But the problem is Arman is one of the very few guys whose double leg is fast enough and explosive enough that he can make Charles run into double legs and, again, be low enough and fast enough on the shot that, like, Charles won't be able to guillotine him. And that's really bad. I think Arman Tsarukyan is a really tough matchup for Charles, and I think Arman's improved since the last time they fought a couple of years ago. So, how old is Arman Tsarukyan? I believe he was like 28. 29. He's 29. That's still pretty young. I don't want to fight Arman Tsarukyan again. We might have to. And I don't think it's a complete wash, but I don't want to fight Arman Tsarukyan. All right, next. Max Holloway. I think this one's pretty clear and pretty simple, just looking at Max's style, looking at his tendencies. There's one very glaring issue that he's going to have, for sure. Listen, you guys probably all know this. There's one issue Max Holloway has, just stylistically. You look at all of his past opponents, and there's one sort of common denominator in terms of every single time that he's ever struggled there's one common denominator underneath it. And that one common denominator is that Charles is gonna submit him. There's no question about that. He just doesn't have what it takes to contend with Charles in that area. I mean, that's just the fact. I mean, obviously, if you watched my last breakdown, you guys would all know that Max Holloway is actually awful. Right? I know, again, some people believe that Max Holloway is a good fighter, but if you watch the last breakdown that I did, it's very clear to anybody with eyeballs, he's not that good. He's just not. I mean, man, Frankie Edgar literally 50-45'd him. We watched all 5 rounds of the Frankie Edgar fight. And again, Frankie got robbed. All right, moving on. We're moving up to the welterweight division. Jack Della Maddalena. I think looking at the welterweight division, your last breakdown was very biased. I disagree. I think it was the truth. I don't think it was biased at all. Get-ups? I don't think get-ups are his problem. I think he hasn't struggled with get-ups in the past except against Islam. Leg kick and takedown defense? I mean, yeah, I don't think pure takedown defense is the problem, but I think, like, he has certain tendencies where guys can set up their takedowns in a way that would make it that he really struggles with, That's what I would say. Again, some recency bias here. I'm not saying that any of you guys are wrong, but frankly, I think that there's one blanket issue. There's one blanket problem that he has that I think a lot of what you guys are complaining about sort of falls under. But again, though, it's difficult in MMA because there's a difference between having bad takedown defense and, having issues on the feet that your opponents can exploit that obviously is going to open up takedowns, right? Because as much as people don't want to admit it, striking is a huge factor of wrestling in MMA. You know what I mean? It just is. I mean, it is. If you can't, it doesn't matter how good of a wrestler you are generally if you cannot set up the takedown, right? It wasn't that, like, in my mind, looking at Islam Jack Della Maddalena, I don't look at that fight and say that Islam was like, oh, it was just because he was leagues better with the wrestling. Obviously, Islam's a better wrestler, don't get me wrong. But I don't look at that fight and go, oh, he's just a million times a better wrestler. I look at that fight and say, Islam just expertly used the high kicks to get Jack's guard up and the calf kick to make him stationary, and therefore his hips were so wide open every single shot. That's what I would say. That's what I'd say. To me, the big issue for Jack Della Maddalena is the motherfucker's too small, bro. He's too small. You look at this welterweight division right now, and you look at, I mean, dude, the fact that he, like, literally got out-muscled. He did. Islam was bigger and stronger than Jack Della Maddalena was, and he was a 55er moving up 15 pounds to 170. I mean, you got the 6'3" Ian Garry. You've got the Michael Morales, who's 212 pounds outside of fight camp. You've got fucking, again, Shavkat, who's kind of gone right now, but he's fucking almost 6'3", Carlos Prates, super tall, rangy, lengthy. You got the 5'10" Jack Della Maddalena with a 73-inch reach, who walks around about he probably gets up about 189, 190, bro. He's not very big. He's not big. For a 55er to move up to your weight class and kind of, out-muscle you, that's a problem. That's a problem. But again, it's not 100% weight. Obviously, weight does matter a lot. But your frame matters too. Your frame matters as well. Like, frankly, I don't think Carlos Prates gets that heavy. Carlos Prates himself is probably about 190. But, again, he's got like what? A 77-inch reach. He's 6'2", Let's see, what do we got here? Aaron Tracing for the $5. When Islam and Usman faced off, Islam looked at least an inch taller, which takes away all interest in the fight since Islam won't have to close the distance. Really? When did they face off? Were they wearing shoes? Let me see.
Be nice, be nice.
Me too.
I mean,
It's
kind of hard to be. It's kind of hard to be certain about this. The angle's not great.
No, nice one. What you want to say though? Be nice, be nice.
It looks like Islam is way closer to the camera. I would be shocked if he was an inch taller than Usman. But maybe he is.
Me too.
Yeah, be nice.
Because he's listed at 6 foot. Islam's listed at 5'10". I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that if they are really close in height, though, that is gonna really take away all interest. Yeah, you're dead on the money. I want to see Islam close the distance. That's what I need against a taller, rangier person. We know how good he is on the back foot. We know how evasive Islam is. Show me him getting on the inside. That's what I really want to see. That's the one skill I feel like we haven't seen yet. JCM asking for $2. I'm clinically unwell. Help? Well, I mean, you should go to someone who's if you're clinically unwell, then you need clinical treatment. Like, you talk to like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. That's what I'd say is probably the best. Prates is 200 pounds? Damn, that's more than I thought. But okay, fair enough. Yakufa Fuk 805. Thank you for the $10. Shay, have you ever went down the UFC fighters grip strength videos rabbit hole? I remember once I saw Islam versus JDM score difference. I knew he was finna get smashed. Also explains why Bilal did way worse. I have seen that. Like, I remember, you know what I remember? I believe it was UFC 309. fucking Bo Nickel had a way higher grip strength than fucking Stipe Miocic did, and obviously one is kind of a small 185er, and the other's a fucking heavyweight, and I was like, damn. You know, though, I don't know. I mean, listen, grip strength's important. Grip strength is very important. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I don't think it's everything when it comes to strength and grappling. It's a big factor, but I don't think it's everything, you know? But it certainly is dude, yeah, there are some people I train with who I'm sure you guys know. My buddy Paul, who I always repost him. Me and him have trained together for years, and he's only like 170 pounds. I'm like 15 pounds heavier than him, but he fucking grabs me. I'm like, fucking hell, his grip strength is so strong. So I mean, it does matter for sure. I've never fully went down that rabbit hole, but it is interesting to look at for sure. All right, Ian Garry. What the fuck did I say about Ian Garry? What did I say? I do not remember what I said about Ian Garry. I have no idea what I said. I completely forget. I truly completely forget. Doesn't have power. He's annoying, boring. He opens up his hips when he leans back. That's a very specific weakness, for sure. Or weakness. It's a very specific thing you could theoretically take advantage of. But he's low-key perfect everywhere. Well, you know what? I think I said something about Shavkat. Yeah, that's right. He needs Shavkat to stay away from him. He needs Shavkat to stay way away from the division. Because it is crazy how Ian Garry, bro, like, dude, he does not have a weakness. He does not have a weakness. The game plan that he enacted against fucking Carlos Prates, the most beautiful thing I've personally ever seen. I mean, the way he can mix up his strikes, the way he can mix up the boxing and the kicks together. He's a very good grappler, good grappling defense, very good grappling offense. Like, bro, he does not have a weakness. But, brother, Shavkat fucking just straight up outboxed him through and through. He outstruck him. He just did. Ian Garry had that one moment. I know Shavkat went single leg and tried to go like a cross body grip to take him down, and then Ian slipped under the arm to open up the back, which, you know, he did have that one moment. But other than that, man, I mean, and Shavkat, that was the first fight I'd ever seen Shavkat shoot a traditional double leg, and he fucking took down Ian Garry. Because I knew going into this fight that Shavkat's clinch takedowns weren't going to cut it. But he shot a legit double on Ian Garry, took him down, and apart from that, straight up outstruck him. Dude, Ian Garry would pop the jab, and then Shavkat would fucking pull counter, pop his own jab. I was like, damn. You know what? I think more now that I'm explaining all this, I think a more like blanket statement for this would be that Ian Garry's entire game is built upon using his height and his range and his reach. His entire game is built upon it. And the problem is Shavkat, again, Ian Garry is listed as taller. He's not. They're pretty much the exact same height. And Shavkat, I believe, has like a 4-inch reach advantage. Truthfully, I think that's probably the more blanket statement, is that I think Ian Garry's going to struggle against taller, rangier guys because his game is built upon being the taller fighter, which I think it should be, you know? Yeah, Ian has a 74-inch reach. It's not, that's for being 6'3", that's not amazing. It's not amazing. I think that's probably more of a good summary of this. Marlon Moraes. Oh, let me see what we got. Oh, Cage Side MMA. Thank you for the $5. I'm sick as fuck. Your streams make it so much better. We will sub Max Holloway at UFC 326. Also, best members only content on YouTube. I'm glad you think so, Cage Side MMA. Again, man, I know, and it's difficult. I know a lot of people don't like that I make members only content, but the truth is, man, for one, blame Dana. If he was giving us fucking title fights and like really high level matchups to talk about, I'd be doing it. But he's not. There is not a single title fight announced right now. So what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? And second, yeah, it truly is the best members only content on YouTube. I'm glad you think so. I don't think there's any YouTuber on the platform that makes members only content as well as I do. We have I think we just passed 700 members on the channel. So like we're growing at a very high rate here. So please, thank you for the free advertisement there, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like the streams. I love you. Marlon Moraes. The one issue that he has, you know what? I don't think he overswings that much. I don't think he overswings that badly. I think he does sometimes have a tendency to do it at times, but I don't think it's enough to say it's his biggest problem. Because generally, I think he actually does kind of maintain space well, pops the jab well, you know what I mean? But to me, I just think that sort of the one issue with him is just a lack of finesse overall. And I think that, again, man, it truly is, like you see it. When guys have phenomenal attributes, a lot of times their skills don't back it up. Their skills are not to the same level as their attributes. And it's because he has so mmany attributes, I don't think he's never needed to develop really, really high-level skills. Now, with that being said, I don't think he's like a bad, I'm not going to say he's a bad striker. But if you took a guy like him, who's fucking massive, who has an insane amount of power, I mean, dude, if he had really good footwork, if he was fucking really good at throwing feints, really finding openings, oh my God, can you imagine how scary he would be? Can you imagine how terrifying Marlon would be if he just had more finesse? If he's going at you, fucking jab, feints his level down like he's going for a straight right to the body, and then as soon as his opponent reacts, fucking comes up with a high kick. Like, dude, with the size and strength and power that he has, holy shit, would he be a problem. But, again, I don't think he has a lack of skill. I don't. But I just, man, I think he's like fucking, he could be the GOAT if he was like really technical, Also, he's gay. Moving on. Oh, well, it looks like I kind of forgot to do the animations on this slide. There you go. Carlos Prates. Listen, do I think that Islam would easily destroy Carlos Prates? No. Honestly, no. I think Carlos Prates legitimately actually is a good grappler. I mean, look at the Ian Garry fight. Like, he defended every single takedown beautifully. Even at the end of the fight, it got on top, landed that huge right hand. Here's the thing, though. You can't deny that, Islam Makhachev is definitely, I would, frankly, I'd even take an Ian Garry rematch over Islam. Again, I think that Ian Garry, that very first fight, he just completely toyed with Prates' pure Muay Thai style. But I think that Prates, the last two fights, I think he's been really mixing it up well. I think he's starting to use more footwork, more head movement. He's starting to kind of close those gaps that can be there with a pure Muay Thai style. So with that being said, bro, I think an Ian Garry fight, it's actually very interesting because I don't think Ian Garry is going to be able to use the same approach he did before. But again, I think he's a good grappler. Again, look at the Leon Edwards fight. Leon Edwards got in on that double leg, took him down, took his back. Leon's a good grappler himself, very good. But I just think, unfortunately, dude, Marlon Moraes, I'm favoring Prates in that fight because I think Marlon Moraes is not going to be takedown heavy. I think that Prates is the way cleaner striker. I think he's just as tall and long. I think he beats Marlon Moraes stylistically. But I think Islam is definitely the last guy I would want as champion if I was Prates. That's what I would say. For sure. To me, that's the big issue. If I was making this right after the Ian Garry fight, I would have said his biggest problem is he's too traditional Muay Thai. But I think he has improved in those areas. But anyway, next, Dricus du Plessis. The fuck is Marlon? What's his name? It's Marlon Moraes. Michael Moraes. Oh, it's Michael. It's Michael. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. It's Michael. My bad. Sorry, I fucked that up. I don't know why I said Marlon. Did I miss your last one, Tuxedo Mask? I think I saw it. It said you have. It says you have. Tuxedo. Oh, I got you. It burns when I pee. I hope it's not an STD. I hope it's just a urinary tract infection. Which, if that's the case, I hope you have insurance. You need to make a doctor's appointment. If it is an STD, they might have to do the swab. They might have to take the swab and insert, which, yeah, that's bad. I've never had to do that before, but I can imagine how horrible that would be. So I hope that's not the case. Hopefully it's just a urinary tract infection. But yeah, just try to make a doctor's appointment. All right. DDP. I mean, listen, what do you guys think DDP's biggest problem is? Text him, I think $2, it'll just go away, right, if I leave it alone? You know what? Unfortunately, not specifically with that problem, Tuxedo Mask, but like, I've had certain ailments that I have taken that philosophy with, and it actually has gone away with time. But, as long as it's not like chlamydia or something, you should be, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't risk it. All right, guys, the biggest problem with DDP, he's a terrible bottom. Only good from on top, from my experience, at least. From my experience with him, terrible bottom. He's good when he's on top. That's what I think. I just, from what I've watched of him, from what I've seen, that is the absolute biggest issue that he has. I think that, again, I always say this, I'll say it again. Because of the Khamzat fight, I think there's a number of people, because of recency bias, they look at Dricus du Plessis and they go, he is a bad grappler. He does not know how to grapple. Offensively, DDP's grappling is actually really good. I mean, when he's the guy on top, oh my God, the Robert Whittaker fight, sliced through Whittaker's guard, mounted him, started fucking landing the ground and pound. Israel Adesanya fucking cracks him, double leg, spins to the back, slaps the choke on. He actually has good jiu-jitsu. There's a video of him. He was in this team jiu-jitsu event. We've watched it on stream before, where basically it's like 5v5, and if you win, you stay on. Dricus by himself ran through the complete other team. And it was because of girth and strength. And he is a good offensive grappler. But like I said earlier, generally when you take guys who have very good attributes, a lot of times their skill ends up suffering. And I think we saw that with DDP. First and foremost, Khamzat Chimaev is world class when it comes to, wrestling, top pressure, jiu-jitsu himself, right? Khamzat's a world class grappler. But watching him versus Khamzat, you can tell that I guarantee you that DDP is so used to bench pressing guys off of him in training, just scrambling and using his strength and fucking, like you saw the very first takedown that Khamzat hit. Dricus fucking grabbed the fucking neck and started like wrenching his neck forward to try to like get Khamzat to like pancake over the top. And listen, I'm sure that's actually gonna work against a fair amount of people. But, when you're dealing with a truly world-class offensive grappler, obviously it didn't work. Khamzat just turned his hips midair, landed on top. I'm sorry, DDP, his defensive fundamentals just aren't as good as his offensive fundamentals are. It's not. Let me see. Catch up on some donos real quick. Donko, thank you for the €5. How would you handle MVP style in the open? Constant lateral movement to make the blitz hard to line up while slowly creeping forward? It's a good question, Donko. If I was fighting Michael Venom Page in the hyperbolic time chamber and there was no fence to back him up to, how would I deal with it personally? I mean, I like what you're saying. The lateral movement can help. Constantly trying to circle and move, but I don't think it's going to work that well. I think that it's scary. My gut reaction to fighting an MVP style would be like, I would want him to be very scared of blitzing into a double leg. Like, I would show him. Like, for one, I would show him that, like, I'm thinking about the calf kick right as he blitzes in, and I would want to show him that I'm thinking about the double right as he blitzes in. But MVP's timing and his eyes are so good that, like, motherfucker, like, if he gets a read on when I'm going to shoot, he's going to make me run into a flying knee. And break my face like he broke Pitbull's face. I mean, look, that would be my answer. You know, I don't mind the lateral movement. Slowly creeping up's not really going to work on him. But yeah, lateral movement's good. Show him that I want the calf kick. I want to make him run into a double leg and, you know, try to accomplish those two things and hope I can do that and not get flying kneed in the face when he fucking feints the blitz and then I fully commit to the double and he fucking knees me. I would just hope that doesn't happen. He's so good. He's so good, bro. He's out in range. He's unfair. Moving on. Oh, never mind. Way too smoky thing for the $5. DDP would have kept the middleweight division exciting if it weren't for inactive Khamzat, for sure. Khamzat is kind of ruining the division, for sure. For sure. It's such a shame, man. It does really suck. It really, really sucks. DDP would probably have already defended the belt by now. You know, I mean, if he had beaten Khamzat. Nasruddin Imavov. And it probably would have been against Nasruddin Imavov. Way too smoky. And frankly, I think a Nasruddin Imavov versus DDP would have been a very, very interesting fight. Now listen, guys. I think when it comes to Nasruddin Imavov, I don't think I need that much explaining. That's his biggest problem. Who's got the ball knowledge here? Who's got the ball knowledge? Yes. Who's got the ball knowledge?
The guy next door is going to clean out his gutters. He's just worried that some of the gook and all that will splatter your car.
Oh, okay. Are you doing it right now?
He's doing it right.
Which, this side or that side?
This side. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. I might have to move the car. That is not my mother, you guys. That is my grandmother. But good guess. That's my grandmother. That is not my mom. Shut up, Jim. Do I have to go move my car? Guys, you tell me. You guys tell me. What is the make and model of my car? You guys tell me if it's worth letting my car, you guys tell me if it's worth letting, I drive a Mercedes, guys. Should I let it fucking, should I just let it get fucking, should I just let it get all destroyed? It's a 2022 Mercedes. What do you guys think? Let it rot? Yeah, who cares? C-Class? It is a C-Class. Yeah, it's a C-Class. But I believe it's the Mercedes C300. Motherfucker. Okay, all right, guys, I'll be back in 3 seconds. I'll be back in 3 seconds. Travis Bickle, entertain the chat. Please don't let anybody leave. Entertain the chat. All right, I'm back, everybody. I'm back. Oh my God, we lost like everybody. Gee. Thanks, Travis Bickle. Well, you know what, though? You're trying, at least. You know what? You're trying. I guess I can't be that mad. You are trying. It looks like you actually did a good job. I do appreciate that, Travis Bickle. Most of the time when I have someone do that, they just fucking don't even say anything. Kyle, 210, thank you for the $5. Shay, make me a mod, you won't. Also, you trying to get a 22 Mustang GT Premium paid off? Love your content, man. Long-time follower. Oh, thank you, Kyle. I love you, too. I'm not really a car guy, man. I'm not really a car guy. I don't really know anything about cars, so I don't know if a Mustang GT Premium is good. I know being paid off is pretty good. Probably not. Make you a mod, I won't. Yeah, not for that price. I'll tell you what. You send another $15, I'll make you a mod. I'll make you a mod for another $15, for sure. Definitely. But the only reason I even got, like, my current Mercedes is just because, like literally, again, I don't give a shit about cars. I was just like, name brand. I don't know, man. I was like, I don't know anything about cars, but I know Mercedes are supposed to be nice, so I'm getting it. Even though, in fairness, I came across like a video where they were at a car dealership and they were asking the workers, they were like, what do you think's a fake rich guy car? What's a fake rich guy car? One of them said my car. One of them said Mercedes C300, and I was like, I guess that's fair. It is kind of, because it's like the lowest end luxury vehicle. Whoa! Fuck. All right, man. Deal's a deal. Everybody, welcome Kyle. Welcome Kyle to our new moderator force. There you go, Kyle, bro. You got it, bro. You're now. Hey, I hope you know though, man. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows around here. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows. You know, you gotta be vigilant. If anybody says anything remotely that could theoretically be looked at as negative towards me, permaban. Permaban. All right, it's up to you to essentially police the entire. Like, listen, you're a moderator. If you're scrolling around on Reddit and you happen to see someone say something like kind of critical of me, you gotta make like 5 fake accounts and just fucking mog them, bro. You have to, Kyle. All right. Don't worry. LEC, Aaron T, Minecraft Enchantment Table, Lagler, Jim Miller. They'll give you the rundown. Oh, yeah. Sorry, 194. How do you go back? Yeah, I mean, Nurmagomedov weighs 194 pounds. He weighs 194 pounds in the 185-pound division. And listen, that has allowed him to be very quick, very fast. He's super quick, and I think skill for skill, he's really, really high level. Against a Khamzat Chimaev, though, I mean, for one, he stands pretty tall. That's not good against a Khamzat. That strength advantage, I mean, man, even Khamzat's not that big of a 185er, but even Khamzat's like 205. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know, man. You know, yeah, Islam weighed apparently 189.6 on Fight Night. Last time he fought, you know, I don't know about that, man. He's not even a big welterweight, bro. All right, anyway, Sean Strickland. Listen, I made a whole video back in the day titled The Sean Strickland Problem. Made a whole video about it. And I'm sure you guys probably know where I'm going to with this. But what's the biggest problem with Sean Strickland? Try to think with this one, think kind of blanket terms. Think like a blanket statement. So, like, no power is true. No power is true. But think about more like a big blanket thing. Power punchers, you're on the right track, but blanket. Abuse victim, no. Didn't say that. No physicality, no aggression. You put that all under one big umbrella, and what do you get? Too linear? Yeah, you're getting closer. One bit. Why is that a problem in MMA? Why is that an issue? Why specifically when it comes to MMA? Why is that a problem that he's too linear? Minecraft Enchantment Table, he got it. Minecraft Enchantment Table's got it. He's got it. Can't score. His style just isn't good for the judging criteria. His style's not good for the judging criteria. It's not. Like, what Sean Strickland's entire style is built off is not good for how judges score fights. Again, man, as crazy as it sounds, you look at that Paulo Costa fight, and one judge gave Paulo Costa that fight, and everybody freaked out about it, which I do understand. That was a bad scorecard overall, but the truth is, again, it says in the criteria that immediate impact is always weighed more heavily than cumulative. You've got Sean Strickland just walking you down, pitter-pattering with jabs and teeps. You know what I mean? There's no impact in his game. So to be fair, you know, if Paulo Costa landed 1 to 2 power strikes per round, all of a sudden, again, I'm not saying it was a good scorecard. I'm just saying, you know, that's the reason why that judge gave it to Costa. That's why. That is why. You know, ATL, I have a feeling that you're just basing that off of a pure memory. I made a whole video about it where I actually looked at a few examples of Costa actually landing on him. Listen, I don't think Costa won that fight. I do not believe he won that fight. But what I am saying is it was because of his style that that judge ended up getting to the decision that he made. You know what I mean? That's why. Whether or not that was actually a good scorecard or not, it wasn't a good scorecard, but that's the problem. Not even just that fight. Like, he's lost a ton of split decisions because of, you know, he's just not landing with any impact. The Jared Cannonier fight, there you go. You know what I mean? Even though Strickland seemed to control the fight, he never landed anything of any significant impact. Then there you go. Ends up losing a split decision. You know what I mean? Even like the Dricus du Plessis fight. Sean Strickland landed 1 trillion jabs on Dricus, but unfortunately it was all cumulative and immediate weight heavier, and he ends up losing that split decision. You know what I mean? That's the biggest problem. Anthony Hernandez. Yeah, he's not adaptable either. That is true. What is the biggest problem with Anthony Hernandez? What do you guys think? Yeah. You know what? Fika MMA's got it. Yeah, he's too soft. He's a bit doughy to the midsection. Kevin Holland beat him because he landed a huge knee to the body. Michelle Pereira hurt him fairly bad. Like the first 2 minutes of their fight, just rip into the body. Anthony's not the biggest guy in that division. Obviously, doesn't have, I wouldn't say he's got, you know, real knockout power. But, you know, what's the thing about Anthony Hernandez? He's doughy. If you crack him hard to the body, it's gonna hurt him. Now, does Sean Strickland have the style to really hurt Anthony Hernandez to the body? I doubt it. But, you know, Kopylov to the body as well. I do think, though, teeps to the body should be something Strickland should look for sure. But that, again, dude, you're losing to Kevin Holland because, again, he was like 26 years old when he lost to Kevin Holland. It was a long time ago, but still, you see the problem there. All right, we have moved on to the 205-pound division. I think the thumbnail of this stream kind of gives it away, but I'll still let you guys all make your wild guesses. What's Mago and Ankalaev's big problem? What is it? Too technical? Going first? Heart? No. Head movement? No trauma? There you go. Nah, dude, it's just fucking the fact that Yuri Prochazka exists is his problem, bro. The fact that Yuri Prochazka exists is his problem. Again, let me ask you guys, let me see if you guys are actually learning anything from any of my videos. How do you deal with somebody whose A game is distance management and speed? How do you deal with that person? Who's the absolute phenomenal A1 aspect of them is distance management. What do you do to them? You pressure them to the fence. That's what you do. You pressure them all the way back to the fence. Now, all of a sudden, that in and out movement, that ain't there anymore when you're backed up to the fence. And what the fuck is Yuri Prochazka going to do to him? Yuri Prochazka is just going to go after his ass. Now, I made a whole members-only video about this fight a while back, and I think there are some things that I like. There are some tendencies that Yuri has that I think Onk could take advantage of, but I don't think those tendencies are nearly as significant as the issue that Ankalaev has when you pressure him. Pereira wrote the playbook, and unfortunately, Yuri Prochazka is that guy to capitalize on that. That's what Yuri does. Yuri pressures you. Yuri also, say what you will, man, Yuri is actually pretty durable. And he's ferocious. That's the thing. And again, Yuri's hands are so low, his strikes are coming up on all these crazy angles. Like, bro, he's a problem for an Ankalaev. That is his biggest problem. And on the flip side to that, what Yuri Prochazka's biggest problem, you guys think? I'll give you a hint. It's in the exact same vein as Ankalaev's problem was. Yeah, good guesses, you guys. Good guesses. Listen, if it's not that it's not that Yuri's not unbeatable, or it's not that he's not unbeatable. He is beatable, I think, theoretically. But bro, as long as Alex Pereira's the one ruling this division, which is what's happening right now, yeah, that ain't gonna cut it, man. That ain't going to cut it. Because, again, I actually think Yuri is durable. I think his offensive striking is phenomenal. I think, he's been trying to use more head movement and be more evasive. But, bro, you can't just get touched by Alex Pereira. You can't just do that. You can't. It's just that ain't going to cut it. And I'm sorry, Yuri's kind of style is to get touched up a little bit. And we saw what happened in the second fight. Alex is so good in rematches. He's so good. And Alex went from, in that very first fight against Yuri, Alex did get a little timid by Yuri's awkwardness and movement, you know what I mean? But in that second fight, he went, you know what? You're going to be all awkward and move all weird with your hands down. I'm just going to keep stepping in. I'm just going to keep stepping in, and I'm just going to keep touching you. And Yuri just got destroyed. I'm sorry. But maybe if Alex just vacates and moves up, maybe we're all right. Maybe Yuri's all right. But, Kyle, thank you for the $2. Yuri kills Olberg. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Again, I feel like I don't even know enough about Olberg to even actually even say one way or the other there. But yeah, I would agree with that one, man. I'd agree with that for sure. Absolutely. I hate Olberg. I fucking hate him. Thank you for the $2, Kyle. All right. I hate Olberg so much. Weird, and he's not even on here. Ciryl Gane. What did I say Ciryl Gane's problem was? I think I remember. lead hooks, cheating, French, pillow hands. LEC's on the right track. I think the biggest like blanket issue he has it's no power and that he has to fight Alex Pereira. Maybe me saying he has to fight Alex is a little bit that might be a little premature because I actually think there are things he can do against Alex that could be good. The biggest problem with Ciryl Gane is like, yeah, my man, for how, technical he is, for how light on the feet he is, frankly, for how defensively sound he is, for how good of an athlete he is, for, somebody who's, snapping up high kicks off the back leg, like, he might genuinely, in my opinion, be the most talented striker the heavyweight division's ever seen. But, bro, he just cannot finish you. He just does not have the power. He himself is a very cumulative striker. And, if you fight an Alex Pereira, like, man, Ciryl needs to not get walked down, and he needs to not get pressured. Because if he gets pressured, Alex is going to land the calf kicks. He's going to make him run into either a lead hook or an overhand as he's circling on the outside. But if he had a lot of power, if all of a sudden you had to be scared of Ciryl landing on you because he's a 250-pound super athletic guy, oh my lord. I might be favoring him to beat Tom Aspinall, like, genuinely. He doesn't quite have that, though. Again, there are so many aspects of Cyryl's game that I think are world-class. But the fact he doesn't have power really hurts him. Really, really hurts him. And I believe this is the last, but not least, Alexander Volkov. Alexander Volkov's got a really big problem. And what do you guys think it is? Miles, thank you for the €6. What would you say is the best weight class for someone who is 6'3" with a 76.5-inch reach? Middleweight, light heavyweight, or heavyweight? It depends, like, on your build. But 6'3" generally, I think that's a very solid frame for middleweight. I think if you are really jacked, again, well, what are you walking around at? That's you kind of got to know that. Like, what are you walking around at? You know what I mean? That's kind of huge. You know what I mean? Are you walking around at 225 pounds? That's going to change whether or not you're that or you're 240 or you're 230 or you're, 205. That's kind of what I think it depends. How old are you? Are you an 18-year-old kid? Are you fucking 30? Are you a grown man? Because, if you're 21 years old and you tell me you're 195 pounds, it's like, well, by the time you're 30, you're going to be, you're going to be probably at least 215 because you're going to get bigger and fill out as you go. There's like a lot of important questions there. But like just purely on like a frame basis, I think like probably middleweight is going to be your best bet. But it can really depend. Cold Kill Game, I think the Chargers do you think Gane has any chance against Alex? Actually, and I think he does. I think he does have a good shot against Alex, in fairness. I would favor Alex to win that fight for sure. But in good shape, 210, you're a middleweight then. You're a middleweight. 210, that's actually a very solid for middleweight, bro. Very solid. I think, again, one thing that Ciryl Gane was doing against Francis Ngannou that I really, really liked was that Francis would pressure him towards the fence, and then Ciryl would, get real careful. He'd cover up really nicely, and then he would duck his head, shoot for the double, and he'd run Francis back to the center, and then as soon as they got to the center, he would just push away and separate and bounce away. And he was doing such a phenomenal job just never getting into the pocket with Francis because he's so quick and fast with his footwork. He actually even hit a double leg on Francis. It's so funny because, dude, truthfully, Ciryl Gane was looked at as a decent grappler. He was looked at as a decent grappler when, towards the beginning of his career. He was taking guys down. He was winning fights by submission. He took down Francis Ngannou. And I remember Daniel Cormier was doing the commentary, and he just goes, oh, well, great takedown from Ciryl. He got him down. Then after the John Jones fight happens, and he obviously got submitted like that, I remember he fought Volkov in the rematch. And he took down Volkov at the very end of round 1 in the second Volkov fight. Ciryl hits a clean double leg on Volkov, takes him down, and Daniel Cormier goes, "What? Ciryl Gane's shooting double legs now?" And I'm like, he's always done that. He's always done that. Just, it's just, again, Daniel Cormier. Again, I understand some casual fan. I understand them kind of forgetting. But Daniel Cormier, as you guys know, doesn't do any research or film study at all. He literally fucking just you know what I mean? He saw the John Jones fight and just thought Ciryl had no idea how to grapple. But it's just the fact that John Jones really is just a different level than heavyweights are when it comes to grappling. That's really what it is, especially when it comes to submissions. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is a very roundabout way of saying that, frankly, all of you guys got it wrong about Volkov. And that's not to say that you guys are wrong in what you're saying, right? Not a lot of footwork, stands very tall, true. Truthfully, though, the biggest problem for Volkov, the absolute biggest problem that he has, Alex moved up. And now, bro, Volkov is way back of the line. He was way, way back of the line, bro. Like, if Alex is moving up, which I'm pretty sure, I'm like 85% sure he's gonna move up, bro, Volkov, who, frankly, arguably beat Ciryl Gane, should have been fighting for the title, bro, he's way back of the line. Because he beat Jailton Almeida. That was supposed to be the number 1 contenders fight. He was supposed to be a number 1 contender. Now he has to wait for Ciryl Gane to fight Alex Pereira. Then he has to wait for that fight. He has to wait for them to fight Tom Aspinall. And you better hope there ain't no close fight. You better hope there is no close fight. Like, I don't know if it would, but like imagine like Alex Pereira ends up fighting Tom Aspinall and it's a really close fight. Just imagine that. Oh, they're going to be a straight-up rematch, bro. If it's some split decision, close fight rematch. And Volkov, bro, dude, he's never going to get there, man. Volkov's never going to get there, bro. Volkov ain't fighting for the title anytime soon. And it's all because Alex Pereira moved up. That's the problem. That's the problem. Not that I think it would really matter. I think Tom Aspinall is a hard counter for him. But what if Gane pokes him again? Don't even say that, bro. Don't even say that. I don't know. Yeah, but he's going to have to fight Kuniev or Waldo or something, or else he ain't getting his bills paid. I feel bad for Volkov. Miles, 6584, thank you for joining the fan club, man. You guys made a great decision. Again, there is no better members-only platform, members-only period on YouTube than what I give out. Phenomenal content. There's a lot more on the horizons. You now have access to literally an infinite amount of content. All my members-only content, it's all copyrighted. I'm watching like full clips and stuff because I don't need to worry about ad revenue. So, dude, you just made a great choice. If you want to join the members-only Discord, let us know. A lot of great stuff there. But yeah, that's the end, boys and girls. We did it. That's, to me, the biggest problem with every single contender in the UFC. Did you guys have fun? $5 months now, but still not in the Discord? Can I join as the new mod? Oh, that's not how it works, Kyle. That's not how it works, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. I just have to enforce them. I do appreciate the $2, but it's not a moderator's Discord. It's a members-only Discord, unfortunately. So I'm sorry about that, Kyle. I do love you, bro. I wish that wasn't the case, but again, don't quite make the rules. I don't quite make them. I just enforce them. It's $5 a month. It's $5 a month. Though, you know what I find out? You know what I found out that I think is kind of fucked is that YouTube actually they automatically adjust the members only prices based on location. So I think Jim Miller was telling me that like where he lives, or I believe is the UK, it's £8 to become a member. And I was like, 8 pounds. That's more than $5 USD. It's like $10 USD. That's $10 a month. I set it at $5 USD, but I looked it up, and just it's an automatic thing that YouTube does. Based on your location, they automatically adjust your pricing. But dude, there was somebody living in Argentina who, bro, he's like, it's literally a cent for me to become a member. A cent. 1 cent USD for me to become a member. And I was like, well, that sucks. All right. It's 5. Okay, maybe not 8. Maybe it's not. It's not 8 pounds. It's 5 pounds, which equates to like $8, which is more than I charged personally. But that's what YouTube does. I don't think VPNs work. I'm pretty sure VPNs don't work. Because there's a ton of people who, if George had a membership option, I'd join for $1. Yeah. I don't know, you can try to VPN to Argentina, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. Because I've seen people have complained to me that it's just not available in their country and the VPN doesn't work. Oh, wait, speaking of, did I miss... Oh, YouTube man 1259. Thank you for joining the fan club, man. I appreciate it. I mean, you probably heard my whole spiel. But yeah, bro, you've made a great choice, a great decision. Thank you for joining. If you want to join the members only Discord, let us know. Oh, Crazy Darker Eye. Thank you for the $5 Jack versus Prates rumors for May, and Van versus Taira confirmed. Any early leans? I worry for Jack there, not going to lie. Well, Jack is going to be the way better boxer against Prates. And if he can really slip on the inside and mix it up to the body very well, I give Jack a huge advantage there. I give Jack a huge advantage. But... the problem is on the outside, man, like, Prates can crack. I don't know. I would need to do some film study and specifically look at how Prates boxes in the pocket. But as of now, like, I can see Jack staying safe on the outside. And you know what I mean? If he can get into the pocket, I think he's going to have a huge advantage there. Again, though, man, I'm telling you, there's a thing about Jack Della where, like, you look at the Gilbert Burns fight, he looked slow. Like, his strikes looked real slow. There was absolutely zero pop on him. And then you look at the Belal Muhammad fight. Like, there were moments he was, like, legitimately cracking Belal. There were moments that he was fucking, like, really, like he'd put together a combination, huge right hand, like, actually stun Belal. Then you go to the Islam fight, and I understand most of it was not on the feet, but, like, he didn't look quick. Like, his hands didn't look fast. I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. I need to go back and rewatch those fights, but I kind of remember thinking that, and I don't know what the problem would have been. I mean, I know he broke his arm in the Gilbert fight. Maybe that is something not good, but still. Yeah, Jack's going to have to worry. Like, if I'm Prates, I'm looking like Teeps, calf kicks at range. Teeps would be good against Jack. Because Jack is trying to, like, walk you down. You know what I mean? With that, like, high guard. He's not going to need to worry about Prates shooting on him. So he can use, like, a nice high guard, start walking Prates down. But then I'm going Teeps. You know what I mean? I'm going Teeps. I think that would be good. Teeps, leg kicks. That's what I'd probably look to do. That's probably right, Jim. That's probably correct. I would say that's a good synopsis of what the difference probably was. I think that makes sense. Man, I don't know. What else you guys got? Oh, yeah, Van versus Taira. That's right. I forgot you also asked that, Crazy Darker Eye. Van has really strong hips. He sprawls so well. And I think that could be kind of a problem for Taira. Because Taira will, like, shoot, and then, like, even if you sprawl on him, he'll try to connect his hands, and then he'll try to, like, kind of, like, work his way up your body with the body lock, and then, like, he'll look for throws, or he'll kind of start trying to, like, trip or kind of slunk to the back. But, dude, Van, when he fucking sprawls, it's such a fucking pancake, you know what I mean? Like, his fucking hips hit the ground. Really strong sprawl. I don't know. I think Taira's striking is legitimately pretty good, but I would honestly be afraid. Van's gonna be the better striker. I'd be afraid that Taira won't be able to get in on shots. I haven't actually done any research on this fight at all. Again, I'm just going off like basic memory of what I've seen from each of them, but I would say that's probably gonna be the biggest problem for Taira. That might make me lean towards Van, in fairness. Does Van often give up his back? I mean, maybe. I don't remember. I don't specifically have any examples of that myself, but, you know. Well, guys, it might be time for me to bid you all adieu. It might be time. Today was a great stream. Had a lot of fun. I had a great time. But I think it might be time. We leave each other for now. I really appreciate you guys coming. I love all of you guys so much. Today was great. Again, so much fun. All right, what, Caden Stewart? What? You're streaming tomorrow? You know what? If there isn't a video tomorrow, which who knows? Because we might get a fucking title announcement fucking anytime. But if there's not any sort of title announcement, then I will stream again. And I've been liking the PowerPoints, and I think I'll try to come up with like another like interesting fucking, you know, try to come up with some kind of an interesting fucking thing to go through again. You know what I mean? Like in the vein of what we did today. It was fun. I enjoyed doing it. We'll probably try to do something like that again. All right.